Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bearsden. Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bearsden.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
Matt Zyra going away from that front row. Then it is the 101 of Stuart Musau along with green flag flies. We are off and running. Down the back straightaway they go for the first time. Jean-Marc LaRose, who nearly picked up the win here in that 003, works it up. Corners 3 and 4. Matt Zyra in the number 17 is right there with him, along with Stuart Musau in the 101. Three-time winner this year. Works back in spot number 3 as they work through corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Jordan Miller out there in the 27J along with the 24 machine of Billy LaPlante. And Scott McGill aboard the number 6 completes the rest of the field as they motor down the front straightaway with LaRose in command of the field. Jean-Marc LaRose picked up a heat win last week, and as I mentioned, nearly picked up the feature win, and Matthew Aubin took that away from him right around the halfway point of the race. And right now he looks pretty strong as he sails into turns 3 and 4 with about 3 car lengths on Matt Zyra, who's got his hands full with Stuart Musau making the way off of corner number 4, 3 laps complete. 6 laps in all of our heat events, in all the Bandit heat events tonight, as they make their way down the back straightaway with Zyra into that second spot. Stuart Musau holding on to position number 3 as the 27 of Miller completing the top 4. Scott McGill has got around Billy LaPlante's 24 to pick up the number 5 spot. 2 laps left to go as Austin flying solo up on the flag stand tonight as they motor down the back straightaway. Jean-Marc LaRose in full command. Matt Zyra getting all sorts of pressure now from Stuart Musau as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. A white flag will be displayed this time by, and Jean-Marc LaRose has been in command of this heat event from the drop of the green flag. Jordan Miller looking to put the pressure now on the 101 of Musau as they race for position down the back straightaway, but Jean-Marc LaRose will head into turns 3 and 4, and off of corner number 4 he goes. He will grab the win in a dominant fashion, grabbing heat number 1 for the Bandits. Matt Zyra will hold off Stuart Musau for second, and Jordan Miller will cross in fourth. Scott McGill will bring it across for a top 5 finish in the number 6, and Billy LaPlante will complete the rest of the field. So that is it for Bandit Heat.
28 of Corey Castell, second row. The 28 of Daryl Mainville. Danny LaFave, 06. Matthew Aubin, multi-time feature winner here. And starting scratch on the field, making his debut at Mohawk, the 4S of Styles Arquette, son of Mike Arquette. Down to the backstretch will go. It'll go Castell to the high side of Mitchell as they go into turns 3 and 4. Now Mitchell sticks it down to the bottom, coming out of 4. Castell to the top side. Mitchell on the bottom here, round down to the flag stand. Castell, your new race leader, 1 lap in. Castell leads the pack now as Mitchell follows closely in that number 2's position. LaFave rides along in third, but here comes Aubin to the top side onto the backstretch. He'll enter into turn 3 with a full head of steam. He sets his sights on the 37 machine of Mitchell for that number 2 spot. Coming out of 4, Castell continues to lead now as Mitchell has reeled him in, and he'll go to the high side going to the turn number 1. Mitchell going to take a peek going to the turn number 2 to the bottom, but Castell able to slam that door shut. That'll open things up for Aubin. Great head of steam coming down to the backstretch as now Mitchell will drift up in front of him and barricade him from that top racing groove. Castell settles it down out of turn number 4. He continues to lead halfway home for the Bandits, the second heat race for them this evening. Back over to turn 2 now. Castell continues to lead this heat race number 2. And Mitchell to the top side. He drifts up. That'll open the door for Oban. Oban to the bottom side now as he'll go into turn number 3 and gets that number 2 spawn away from the 37 of Daryl Mitchell. To the bottom. Here comes Oban. He runs down Castell neck and neck at the flag stand. 2 laps to go. Oban now. He takes the number 1 spawn away from Corey Castell. Castell in second now out of 2. He's got Daryl Mitchell in behind him. Mitchell looking to reel him in, get that number 2 qualifying spot here. Oban, he's opened up about a 5-car length lead on the field coming out of turn number 4. As now Oban will take it down to the front stretch. White hanky on the field. 1 lap remaining here for the 4-cylinder Bandits. Looking to put Styles Arquette down a lap here will be Oban. Oban will go to the top side. Styles Arquette, he stays in his groove as now Oban puts him down 1 lap in this heat race. Oban has really made a good charge to the front of the field. He'll come out of turn 4. He'll pick up the second heat race win of the evening, followed by Castell, Mitchell, Lefebvre, and the 28 of Mainville will round it out.
Reef to Matt Shantosh, along with the 39 of Dan Curbing. And rounding it out, glad to have her back, Bailey McDonald aboard the 151 machine. That is your field. The 7 cars ready to do battle here as they work it up off of corner number 4. Green flag flies. We're off and running. And quickly up into corners 1 and 2. Scotty Waldorf has the lead. Here comes Sylvain Laframboise. And that is actually Brian Green out there in the number 1. I apologize for that. Of course, being a series race for the Mod Lights tonight, Brian Green jumping into this ride, and I'll tell you what, it is bad fast right now. Makes his way off of corner number 4 with that second spot. He gets by Laframboise. The 4th position belongs to the 88 of Matthew Robinson with the 39 of Curving, completing your top 5 as they make their way down the back straightaway. Waldorf has been pretty strong here in the last month. Picked up a feature win here back on July the 6th and has been strong ever since. Currently 3rd in points this year in that machine as he works it up into turns 1 and 2 with the lead. Brian Green sitting back there in spot number 2, looking to run him down. He's got the left front wheel flying in the air. Robinson doing everything he can to hold off Dan Curbing and Sylvain Laframboise for the number 3 spot, and Laframboise is going to shoot to the top shelf as they make their way down the back straightaway, or down the front stretch, I should say. 3 laps complete in this 6-lap heat event for the Mod Lights. First of 2 on the evening as they get set to go for the 97.3 CKON FM TUSA Mod Lights Series round number 3 off of corner number 4. Waldorf in full command of this race. 2 laps left to go. And Brian Green doing everything he can to run him down. Green, 5 times a winner this year in 2012. Won the last 2 in a row as well, and this would be big if he could pick up this series win. Dan Curbing has gotten around Matthew Robinson to jump up into the 3rd spot as Robinson rides in 4th, and it's Laframboise completing the top 5. White flag is in the air. Bailey McDonald and Matthew Shantosh round out the rest of your field. And Waldorf, having Brian Green just behind him, tell you what, he has been very quick out there as he makes his way into corners 3 and 4. He has got a healthy 7-car length lead on Brian Green, and he will grab heat number 1 for the Mod Lights. 2nd will go to Brian Green, 3rd to Curbing, 4th to Robinson, and rounding out your top 5 will be Sylvain Laframboise. Good battle here going on for the number 6 spot. Bailey McDonald in her return to the Speedway brings it home in spot number 6.
Fox Hill Golf and Country Club has an early bird special that will save you money. Monday through Thursday, tee off by 11 a.m. and get 11 holes of golf with the cart for $20 or 11 holes walking for $10. Make a date on Friday. All day he pays and she plays for free. Don't forget the large driving range and practice putting green. And as always, Canadian money is at par.
Twin Leaf Fresh Express is the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are. The first convenient stop in Hogansburg when driving from Messina. A food court with free Wi-Fi and plenty of room to lounge with family and friends or eat on the run. Menu items with only the freshest ingredients. Wings, pizza, salads, and sandwiches with lunch specials posted daily on Facebook. And don't forget dessert. Over 20 flavors of ice cream, shakes, slushies, and frozen yogurt. Twin Leaf Fresh Express, the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are.
Réjean Lemieux, younger brother of Mario Lemieux, if you remember him. I'm kidding. Now Green on the field as Brad Reef off to the quick start here. Got Boguette follows him in that number 2 spot. Down to the inside will go the 1W of Brad Reef. But here comes Boguette with a full head of steam entering turns number 3 and 4. To the bottom of the 12 machine, Boguette will pull it as Reef drifts way to the high side into 4. Has to back off the throttle just a little bit as Lemieux has started scratching the field. He's already up in that number 2 position in that 30 machine. The Neon 30 machine of Lemieux. Chasing down Boguette now as Boguette will head into turn number 3. Followed by Lemieux, Reef, and Reef, Brown and Reef. A hat trick of Reefs in the field here tonight in this second heat race for the Mod Lights. Boguette likes what he sees so far up front. Nothing but fast and smooth clay in front of him. He'll take it down to the backstretch into turns number 3. As following him at the number 30 of Lemieux. Lemieux doing everything he can to paddle his little feet to reel him in. Not sure if he's going to have much for him in this heat race. As Boguette starting to check out on the field halfway home here for the Mod Lights heat race number 2 for them. TUSA Tour Series race for them tonight. That tour race will be coming up later on as we get into our features. Now over to turn 4, it is Boguette and that number 12 machine out of turn number 4 as Lemieux goes to the top shelf. Looks for a little more moisture in that racetrack as Reef's starting to reel him in as he rides in that number 3 position. Brad Reef with a strong run tonight down to the backstretch. He's being chased down by older brother Tim Reef in the 30 machine. As now Boguette, 1 lap to go for him. He is your race leader. He's led every single lap here tonight in this second heat race for the Mod Lights. Down to the backstretch, the number 12 machine will fire. Followed by Lemieux, Tim Reef, and Brad Reef in your top 4 right now. Boguette out of turn number 4. He's fast and smooth, smooth and fast as he comes around to collect the checkered flag in heat race number 2. Followed by Lemieux, Tim Reef, Brad Reef, Harley Brown, and Dan Reef round out.
Row number 3, 6 cars ready to go. 10 laps the distance. Off and running off of corner number 4. Green flag flies. Papineau sees it first. Jumps into the early race lead as they head into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Gage Morin settles back into the number 2 spot as Matt Billings works a strong third. Here comes Plank down on the inside. And Plank jumps up to position number 4, getting around Conklin and Whitaker. And Whitaker looking to fight back down on the inside as they make the way into turns 1 and 2. Whitaker, with the Race 101 program, went down to the Southern National Motorsports Park and had a fine top 10 run in his first ever run on the asphalt in a late model, so good job for him. Glad to see him back on the dirt, running in the 5th spot with Tommy Conklin completing the field into 6th. It is David Papineau, your race leader, but here comes Gage Morin, the youngster out of St. Andrews, works it down into turns 3 and 4, and he grabs the lead. Coming off of corner number 4, David Papineau relegated to 2nd with Billings, Blank, and Luke Whitaker in that top 5 order. Conklin rounds out the field in 6th. Billings trying to make the move, and he does. Papineau slows with a problem in turn number 2. And he's going to take it behind the wall in the backstretch. There is really nothing over there that could hurt his car, so he's just going to take it in behind the wall and possibly get it pit side. We'll have to keep your eye on him. As meanwhile, up in front, Gage Morin continues to lead the way. Matt Billings picked up a feature win a couple of weeks ago, or last week I should say, at Brockville for the 2nd time in 2012. He's looking for his 2nd feature win of the season here at Mohawk. Leads the way with feature wins and Dirt Car 358 Modified Racing with 9. Green flag flies, and we got a battle for the top spot already. Morin slipped up the racetrack. Matt Billings to the lead. Off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Plank settles into 3rd with Luke Whitaker rounding out the top 4, and then it's Tommy Conklin completing the rest of your field. But up off of corner number 4, Matt Billings continues to lead him. And the 16 of Morin giving chase, but here comes Dale Plank, the natural out of Cortland, New York. Works it up into turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Trying to close in on Morin that time, but he bobbled a little bit in turn number 2. And that allowed Morin to scoot away by a couple of car lengths as they make their way down in front. 3 laps left to go. And Whitaker and Conklin round out the top 5 as they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry with Matt Billings in control of this race. About 3 car lengths separate him and Gage Morin as they make their way up off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go for Billings and Morin. That car is getting wicked loose out there, and Plank has the opposite problem. That car looks really tight right now, but he's able to drive it through it, and he holds on to spot number 3 with Luke Whitaker and Tommy Conklin in that order. White flag being displayed this time by for Billings. 16 of Morin, 77 of Plank hold down spots 2 and 3. Whitaker and Conklin completing your field. as they freight train down the back straightaway, and Matt Billings is waiting for nobody. Up into corners 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves, and Matt Billings will grab heat number 1 for the modified. Second will go to Moran, Plank, Whitaker, and...
Hey kids, do you know where Cubby and T-Bear live?
Bears Den!
If you said Bears Den, you're right. Bears Den is the home of Cubby's Birthday Club, a special club for just kids. Bears Den has a Cubby's menu just for you with yummy meals and awesome desserts. And for your birthday, you get a special treat from Cubby. Joining Cubby's Club, you'll get invited to Cubby's parades, events, and contests all over town. Cubby's Birthday Club at Bears Den Restaurant in Hogansburg, New York, the home of Cubby and T-Bear.
Supporting a green agenda, Wiley Trash Removal has been serving the community for over 40 years. Wiley Trash Removal also recycles cardboard and paper. Call 315-764-0038.
Points on that one. The 17 of Danny O'Brien. And starting in the last row, it'll be the 29C of Preston Forbes out of West Potsdam, New York, along with the points leader, the 23D of Billy Dunn. Off to a quick start here, the 01, Chris Raby. Now to the inside will go Danny O'Brien down to the backstretch, looking for that number 2 position from Brian McDonald. But Chris Raby says, have at her, boys, behind me. I'm up here front alone by myself. As he gets in the turn number 1, 1 lap in here, as now McDonald has to hold off the hard-charging Danny O'Brien as they fire down to the backstretch. As Federley gets a little out of shape coming out of turn 2, that'll open it up for the 29C of Preston Forbes. Chris Raby is on a solo mission here, all by himself up front. Into turn 2 now, Raby, great bite off of turn number 2 as he fires down to the backstretch. McDonald gets out of that machine just a little bit as he comes down to the backstretch. The race for the number 2 and 3 spot and the 1 to watch. McDonald in second, O'Brien in third, and now Billy Dunn into the top 5. Dunn rides in that number 4 position, looking for the veteran Danny O'Brien to make a mistake, but he could be waiting all summer long for that to happen. Danny O'Brien in that number 3 spot. He'll go into turn 3, looking to reel in Brian McDonald for that number 2 position. As we're 4 laps in, 6 laps remaining here in this second heat race for the 358 Modifieds. Down the backstretch will go the 01 of Chris Raby. Raby into turn number 3. He is being very fast, and he's hooked up on a rail here tonight. As Brian McDonald loops it going into turn 4, gets around in front of the traffic, facing the wrong way, and thankfully everybody is able to out the field. 5 more laps of remaining distance here for the 358 Modifieds. Raby going to look to fire here out of turn number 4. He does, as well as Danny O'Brien and Billy Dunn. Top 3 throw a blanket over him as they'll enter into turn number 1. Raby likes the bottom side, but here comes Dunn on the bottom as well. The door was not open very long by Danny O'Brien. Billy Dunn, he's going to try a different lane here. He'll try to go the long way around into turn number 3, decides otherwise as he enters turn number 4. He is right on the rear bumper of the 17 machine of Danny O'Brien. O'Brien on the bottom, Dunn to the top side. Can he carry the momentum coming out of turn number 2? Down to the backstretch, they'll fire. As now getting loose and out of shape is the 151 of Brian McDonald. The race for this number 2 position is the 1 to watch. Billy Dunn out of 4, down to the front stretch now as he rides right in behind the 17 of Danny O'Brien. That door opens up on the bottom. Dunn sticks a nose in there, but Danny O'Brien does not let that door remain open for very long. Back to the top side will go Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn on the top side takes a peek down low, coming out of 4. Cannot quite get to the rear quarter panel of that 17 machine, the Thousand Islands RV Center of Danny O'Brien. Back to the top side will go Dunn. O'Brien will stick it to the bottom. Dunn trying to keep the momentum up. Here he comes to the top side out of turn number 4. Dunn now pulls up to the right side of the vehicle. 1 lap remaining. Chris Raby's broke away with a 10-car length lead. Dunn throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him here as they head down to the backstretch. O'Brien to the bottom. Dunn, he may have to settle for 3rd here as Danny O'Brien holds on for a great 2nd place finish here. As Tim, I don't think you can be disappointed with that kind of racing action for the number 2 position in the second heat race of the night.
Exactly, and Danny Farrow in the 71 rounds out the rest of your field. Field getting set and ready to go off of corner number 4. Austin waves a green flag, sort of, and into turns 1 and 2 they go. Not sure if Austin's going to bring the caution back out or not. He's going to let it go as they motor down into turns 3 and 4. Terrance on the hammer, going off into corners 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Tarbell up into that 2nd spot. with Ladisher, O'Brien, and Tommy Jock Jr. completing the top 5, and Albertine completes the top 6 with LeGros rounding out your field as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Once again, Kerry Terrance was running smooth up until that bobble coming off of corner number 4, and Roy Tarbell starts to close the gap just a little bit. Tarbell 3 heat wins on the season. Kerry Terrance this year has not won a qualifying heat at Mohawk, and that is very surprising to see. But Kerry, former track champion here, has not won a qualifying heat in 2012. Looking to change that right now as Tarbell working on him for that number 1 spot as they make their way through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Laurent Ladisher is 3rd, followed by O'Brien, Albertine, Jock, and Delbert LeGros has taken the 71 pit side. Some smoke starting to come out of the back of that ride, so he will take it to the pits. 4 laps are complete, and Kerry Terrance in control of this race for the time being. He's got about 3 car lengths over Roy Tarbell with the 23 of Ladisher rounding out the top 3. O'Brien settling back there in that 4th spot, and he would love to pick up a win here and kind of kickstart the latter part of his season. It has been a struggle the last month or so for the 88, the Jim's Performance Plus ride out of Iroquois. O'Brien working in that number 4 spot as he makes his way down the back straightaway with Zach Albertine rounding out the top 5. The SUNY Canton 03 down in front they go. And Terrance, that twin leaf 66, hooked up pretty good tonight as he makes his way into corners 1 and 2. He's extended that lead a little bit right now. Tarbell, looks like the car's starting to loosen up on him coming off of turn number 2, and Laura Ladisher trying to take advantage of that, running him down in corners 3 and 4. 3 laps left to go. Terrance is gone and checked out on Tarbell, who rides in second. Ladisher starting to make that gap a little narrower as he makes his way into corners 1 and 2 with Roy Tarbell just in front of him. Tarbell running in second, Ladisher into third, and Ladisher is closing that gap. 2 laps left to go as Kerry Terrance motors away from the rest of the field. The battle could be shaping up here for the runner-up spot as Tarbell into the middle of the racetrack. Car loosens up just a little bit. Ladisher closes in, waiting to pounce. Coming into turns 3 and 4. White flag being displayed. Kerry Terrance is gone out in front of this field and running away and hiding as he makes his way into corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag will be out this time, and that Twin Leaf Express number 66 off of corner number 4 will grab his first heat win of the season. Terrance wins it. Second will go to Tarbell. Ladisher comes across into third. O'Brien will finish up in 4th, and your top 5 will be rounded. Jock Jr. in the 31 machine.
Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den. Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den.
Meet Peggy. She's a loyal player at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino and is bringing her brother Mark, who's new to Mohawk Casino, on Tuesday. Mark gets $15 for being a new Winners Club member, and Peggy gets $15 for bringing Mark. It's that easy. So if Peggy brings a member of her class of 64 each time she visits, then that's, well, you get the point. Visit Akwesasne Mohawk Casino this month and bring a friend.
One breaker fan offer per person per day. Bet with your head not over it. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-846-7369.
And that 4th row will be made up by Mark Arquette, the 24 car. I'll have to double check to get the Devin Caron and that number 24 machine in the 70. We'll have to double check that one as well. Neil Provost, 74 of Neil Provost. Thank you very much. Tim Ball says Thomas Cook to the high side, now able to break away from the race leader of Mike Stacy, but here comes Josh Van Brocklin down the front stretch at the flag stand, as now they are side by side, 2 by each, as Van Brocklin will break away from the 35 machine of Thomas Cook. Down to the backstretch, they'll fire. Josh Van Brocklin out of Watertown area hooks his machine into turns number 3, is starting to go single file here. Pretty good field of sportsmen here tonight. Thomas Cook rides in that number 2 spot, the 15-year-old out of Akwesasne. Here comes Dan Jalbert, the KG veteran out of Cornwall, Ontario. He rides along in 3rd. He'll set in that rear bumper of the 35 of Thomas Cook as Josh Van Brocklin looking to run away and hide here, and he's doing exactly that. Nolan Swamp now in that number 4 position, but the man with a handful here is a 2EZ, the Brazier Bullet of Mike Arquette. He's got Devin Caron on his rear bumper now as they'll go into turn 3 and 4. Nolan Swamp to the bottom now. Mike Arquette trying to reel him in for that number 4 position. Arquette will drift to the high side as now they've caught up with Thomas Cook halfway home. Josh Van Bronklin all by myself. Down to the backstretch, he'll fire into turns 3 and 4. Jalbert got that number 2 spot away from Thomas Cook, who's faded back to the number 6 position. As Jalbert rides in that number 2 spot. Here comes Mike Arquette, the Brazier Bullet to the inside as he'll take it into turn 1. He gets that number 3 spot away from Swamp, but Swamp fights back onto the high side. Wheel to wheel going down to the backstretch. Mike Arquette and Nolan Swamp. Swamp on the high side. Arquette to the bottom. 2 laps remaining for Josh Van Bronklin. Here comes Mike Arquette. He gets in front of the one of Nolan Swamp for that number 3 spot. Mike Arquette on the move tonight. He rides along in third. Now he'll set his sights on the 95 of Dan Jalbert. Great bite for the Brazier Bullet coming out of turn 2. He'll go into turn 3 now to the bottom side of Jalbert. Jalbert gets sideways, loses all his momentum, checks out, probably headed pit lane. No, sir, he has that right rear that rolled off the rim. Not easy for me to say. Tim Hortons rolled the rim, so to speak, for Dan Jalbert. So
the big stars in dirt will be here, ready to go green. 1 lap to go.
1 lap remaining now for the 10 of Van Bronklin. Great restart for him. Mark Arquette now, the Brazier Bullet in that number 2 spot. To the high side will go Nolan Swamp in that green number 1. To the top side will go Nolan Swamp, but Mike Arquette drifts up on the backstretch, closes that door for Nolan Swamp. He's going to force him to the bottom. As coming back out is the 35 of Thomas Cook. Coming around to collect the checkers will be the 10 of Van Bronklin, followed by Mike Arquette, Nolan Swamp. The number
remaining. This is about the same time he locked it up last year as well. And, of course, Evoy becoming the first ever 2-time sportsman champion here at Mohawk International Raceway. Congratulations to him. Green flag is out. Jenna David to the early race lead. 29 of Anderson loses a ton of spots, and he's going to go back all the way to about spot number 5, but Jessica Power is going to make short work of that. Dips down low, and she will grab spot number 5 at the line. But Jenna David, your early race leader with Brent Kelsey, Dylan Evoy, your top 3 as they motor down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Ricky Thompson is 4th, followed by Jessica Power, rounding out your top 5. Last week's runner-up works it up off of corner number 4. Dylan Evoy down to the inside of Brent Kelsey. He'll pick off spot number 2 at the line as they make the way into corners 1 and 2. Jenna David, still your race leaders. They make the way down the back straightaway. She had problems with her primary car a few weeks ago, and right now they decided to bring their Syracuse car out to play around, and it's been very fast, but Dylan Evoy has been just as fast, if not faster. Works his way to the top side in turns 1 and 2, switches lanes and goes to the bottom of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Evoy down to the inside. He'll pick off the lead going into turns 3 and 4. David trying to fight back, though, as they make the way up off of corner number 4, and Jenna pushes up the racetrack just a little bit. Halfway sign is out. Evoy, your new race leader. Brent Kelsey is 3rd, followed by Thompson, Power, Goddard, Cook, and Anderson in that order. They make the way up into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Evoy, strong as usual, up off of corner number 4. He's holding about a 4-car length advantage over the 1 of David, as Kelsey working on her for spot number 2. Then Ricky Thompson comes up to play in spot number 4, and Power completes the top 5 in 5th. But Dylan Evoy running away from the field. The winningest driver in dirt car sportsman racing this season with 12 feature wins, looks to add that tonight off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go for Evoy. Jenna David holds down spot number 2. Brent Kelsey is still 3rd. Thompson and Power 4th and 5th. Then it's Goddard, Cook rounding out your field as Thunder Anderson Jr. has gone pit side with the 29. White flag is in the air for Dylan Evoy. As he makes his way up into corners 1 and 2. That battle for second starting to become a good one here as Brent Kelsey has closed the gap, and he is right there on the back doorstep trying to get by Jenna David for the number 2 position as they make their way down the back straightaway. But off of corner number 4, your 2011 and 2012 track champion here, Dylan Evoy, grabs the win. Full straightaway lead for Evoy at the line, and for second it will be Jenna David. Brent Kelsey, Ricky Thompson, Jessica Power, your top 5, Gilles Goddard, and Billy Cook complete the rest of your field.
Of Louis Jackson Jr. Correction on that number 3, the outside car. That is Rick Miller, along with Louis Jackson Jr., Adam Rozon, Dana Aikens, Wyatt Mullen, Zach Arquette making his first appearance here in the Sportsman, and rounding out your field will be, we'll have to get a name on that one, as he was here last week, as Andrew Fish is in that 70 yellow machine rounding out the field. Rick Miller off to a great start here as he breaks away from the pack, so to speak. Zach Arquette doing a fine job in his second time ever in that car. Took it out to K&M a few weeks ago and had a pretty good finish for him. Now, back up front, it is Miller, followed by Louis Jackson. And here comes Dana Akins, fondly nicknamed Mr. August by none other than Tim Baltz. We'll get to that later, as now Josh Brockway rides along in fourth. Rounding out your top five will be the 5-car of Wyatt Mullen. Rick Miller likes what he sees in front of him, nothing but 2 turns here as he'll go into turns 3 and 4. Louis Jackson Jr. goes to the bottom, looks to keep the momentum up coming out of turn number 4. 2 laps in, 8 laps remaining distance here for the Sportsmen in their final heat tonight. And their feature will be coming up later on as we quickly move through the heat races here tonight. Rick Miller back up front now, followed by Louis Jackson Jr., Dana Akins. Dana Akins going to have some company here with a 5 of Wyatt Mullen. Wyatt Mullen drifts to the high side here, trying to reel in Dana Akins. And I'll tell you what, for somebody's second time out, and Zach Arquette, hats off to him, doing a fine job. As I say that, he drifts to the high side coming down to turn 2, and that allows Rozon to close that gap for him for that number 5 spot. Running in the top 5 is Zach Arquette. Arquette now to the high side, but back to the bottom will go the 3 of Adam Rozon. Up front, Rick Miller all alone as he gets way into the loose stuff coming out of turn 2, and that'll allow the 18 car of Louis Jackson Jr. to close the distance. Jackson now with a great full head of steam coming into turns number 4. Miller out of 4 gets into that flag stand as we've got, 2 laps remaining here for the Sportsman. 8 laps the distance. Miller to the high side. Louis Jackson rides in second. Here comes Dana Akins down the backstretch. He's comfortably in that number 3 spot as he's held off Wyatt Mullen. In the number 4 position, Adam Rozon. Riding in 6th position is Zach Arquette. 1 lap remaining here for Rick Miller. Rick Miller, he'll come out of turn 2, fire down to the backstretch, looking to pick up a heat race win here. I'll have to double check that. That may be his first of the year, Tim Baltz, as he had a couple... second heat race of the year, and that's what it will be as Rick Miller picks up heat race to win number 2 of the season. Followed by Louis Jackson Jr., the 8 of Dana Akins, the 3 of Adam Rozon, and Wyatt Mullen rounds up.
Hi, I'm Mike Jones. We're here at StarTech Computer. We have computers, cellular telephones, and music equipment. We do repairs on most makes and models of computers.
StarTech, where we make things work for you.
Twin Leaf Fresh Express is the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are. The first convenient stop in Hogansburg when driving from Messina. A food court with free Wi-Fi and plenty of room to lounge with family and friends or eat on the run. Menu items with only the freshest ingredients. Wings, pizza, salads, and sandwiches with lunch specials posted daily on Facebook. And don't forget dessert. Over 20 flavors of ice cream, shakes, slushies, and frozen yogurt. Twin Leaf Fresh Express, the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
Jocelyn Chiquan in the 17. Steve Toomey in the 2X rounds out the rest of your field. Green flag flies. We're off and running. Up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Alan Peters leading the way. We're going to try 3 wide coming off of turn number 2, but PJ Peters thought better of it. Allows Dion Oaks to get on by, and he'll drop to the bottom side of the speedway and get by Mark Lalone for third. Meanwhile, off of corner number 4, Dion Oaks comes up to play and grabs the number 1 spot as he hits turns 1 and 2. And Peters trying to fight back on the inside. PJ Peters just behind them in third. Here comes Jocelyn Waugh in a bid for the number 4 spot, and he'll get by Mark Lalone as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Jocelyn Chiquan right there in spot number 6 with Steve Toomey completing the rest of the field. Down in front they go as the Crown Appeal shirts go flying into the grandstand area. Alan Peters having a strong run on the bottom. Not going to give an inch out there with Dion Oaks just beside him into turns 3 and 4. Oaks on the top side. Peters down low. They're 2x2 for spot number 3 as well with Jocelyn Waugh and PJ Peters going at it. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go once again. It's Alan Peters to the race lead. PJ Peters got caught on a line in turn number 2, and he will go back to spot number 5 as they make their way down the backstretch. Top 3 have broken away for from Mark Lalone by about 2 car lengths as they make the way off of corner number 4. Oaks is going to try that top shelf one more time. Halfway sign is out, 4 in and 4 more to go. And Peters has got that bottom groove working for him, but Dion Oaks is trying other things on the top side of the speedway. You can't count out Jocelyn Waugh this year as well. 7 feature wins on the Quebec circuit, 5 of them at Granby, 2 of them at Autodrome Drummond this year, and he's having a fine season up there. Points leader at both racetracks, and right now Alan Peters just trying to hold the world at bay here for the number 1 spot as he's got Dion Oaks, who is a 2-time winner here this year. Jocelyn Waugh just behind him in 3rd, and Waugh is going to try to make the move on the 48 of Dion Oaks as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Peters strong on the bottom side of the speedway off of corner number 4 with Oaks in 2nd. Waugh is 3rd, and PJ Peters has come back up towards the front of the field. He is now running in spot number 4, and Oaks gets caught out of line on the backstretch. Here comes Jocelyn Waugh in a bid for the number 2 spot as he'll make his way into turns 3 and 4 on the bottom side. Dion Oaks on the top side, and they almost made contact coming off of corner number 4, and they actually do down the front stretch. White flag is in the air. Alan Peters is your race leader. As they make their way into turns 1 and 2, Waugh has the preferred groove down on the bottom, and he will slowly get that number 2 spot away from Oaks, but Dion's going to try to fight back in turn number 3. Off of corner number 4, and Alan Peters is going to win the battle, but Jocelyn Waugh is going to come by to pick up 2nd. Dion Oaks into 3rd. PJ Peters, Mark Lalonde. That is your top 5 with Jocelyn Chicoine in.
Guy Vien, along with the number 2 car, I believe, of Rick Duskus, longtime campaigner out of the, that's actually a 44, longtime campaigner out of the Can-Am Speedway. Denway off to a good start here as Guy Vien works his way up from the rear of the field. Now he... Alain Brochu. Thank you very much, Tim. I wrote it down. Apparently I can't read. So Brochu now up quickly in that number 2 spot. He's going to challenge Denway for the lead, and he's wheel to wheel at the flag stand. Here comes Brochu on the inside. Denway to the outside. Brochu, he sticks it on the bottom side, coming out of 2 down to the backstretch. He'll fire. And now here comes Owen White to the inside of Denway for that number 2 position. Louis Jackson drifts high in the track in that number 5 position rather. As now Brochu up front, got about a 2-car length lead on the number 2 car of Owen White. Owen White rides in 2nd now as Denway will drift up the track. That'll open the door for Rick Duskus. Dave Rogers, correction. As Dave Rogers into that number 3 position. Jackson all shorts is out of shape here as now Rogers got that number 3 position. It'll be the 12 of Brochu. Back over to turn number 2 now as Owen White going to go to the high side, look for a little momentum as he fires down to the backstretch. The 12 machine out of Granby in the Drummondville area of Brochu is your race leader as he'll come out of turn number 4. Halfway home, crossed flags as Denway's got a right rear that went south, literally, on that machine. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it back around pit side. So Brochu is your race leader as he'll take it into turn 3, followed by Owen White, along with Dave Rogers, Louis Jackson, and the 102 of Preston Moussa. Denway, yes, he is going to be able to make it pit side. Keep it green here. Up front now, down to the backstretch. We'll go the 12 of Brochu. Brochu, he fires. He'll head into turns 3 and 4 quickly. Owen White now looking to reel him in with just 2 laps remaining here. 8 laps the distance. Brochu has found the fast way around this racing track here tonight. Tim will have to double check. Not sure if I've ever seen Brochu race here before. As now Brochu down to the backstretch. Owen White doing everything he can to reel him in. Not sure if he's going to have enough time to get into the number 12 machine, or at least get close to on that rear bumper. But Owen White paddling as fast as his little legs will go here as Brochu, he's got 1 more lap remaining. He's led all the laps, 8 laps the distance, as I said, for the Pro Stocks. Next up, it will be another heat of Pro Stocks here tonight. Solid field as Brochu now into turn number 4. He looks to come around and collect the heat race win here tonight. He'll do exactly that. Brochu followed by White, Rogers, Louis Jackson, and the 102 car of Preston Moussa. And I'm not
sure what the problem is as track crews over there on the 4-wheeler are hustling over towards the backstretch just in case he doesn't make it off, and he is creeping up there to the entrance to pit road, and I don't think Ricky will make it behind the wall, and he is going to bring it to a stop just at the edge of pit road right there. And the yellow flag will wave as Rock Oban is your race leader. Stefan Lebrun into 2nd. And And they're going to leave him there, and we're going to get one of our track officials. They hustle right across the racetrack, right in the racing groove, to get him out of the way. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, Stefan Lebrun has gotten around the 4 of Oban as Oban has moved way up the racetrack and lost some ground. Jody Swamp and Guy Vienne round out the top 3 as Eugene Tarbell in the 7D completes the rest of the field. Down in front they go. It is the 6 of Stefan Lebrun, your race leader. Then Swamp back there in second, but here comes Guy Vienne down on the inside, and Vienne starts to go to work in that number 15 off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Vienne right there in the number 3 spot along with the 4 of Oban, in the 7D of Tarbell rounds out the rest of the field, but it is Stefan Lebrun, the 2008 track champion here, picked up his first feature win since his track championship year some 4 years ago. Back on July the 13th of this season was when he last won here. So it's been almost a month since he's been to Victory Lane. Would like to change that tonight. Halfway sign is out. 4 in and 4 more to go, and Stefan Lebrun is your race leader. Swamp still holding Guy Vienne at bay for the number 2 spot. Rock Oban looking to get back up into the top 3 after that mistake off of corner number 2 earlier in the race. He rides in 4th. Then it is Eugene Tarbell completing the top 5 as Lebrun holds strong in that number 1 spot as he makes his way down the backstretch. Lebrun about 4 car lengths ahead of Jody Swamp as they make the way down into turns 3 and 4. Swamp making the crown appeal. People very happy right now with a runner-up run so far off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go for Lebrun. It's Swamp, Vienne, Rock Oban, and Eugene Tarbell in that order. Down the back straightaway they go. Stefan Lebrun is very strong tonight in that number 6, making his way up into turns 3 and 4 with the lead. Working that bottom side to perfection off of corner number 4. He sees the white flag first, and Swamp has been able to pull away from Guy Vienne by a little bit, going down into turns 1 and 2 as Vienne works in spot number 3. Then it is Rock Oban and Eugene Tarbell in that order. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag will be out this time by, and Stefan Lebrun will come across to grab the heat win. Second will go to Jody Swamp. Third to Guy Vienne. 4th to Rock Oban, and rounding out your top 5 will be Eugene Tarbell in the 7D. So that will...
Hey kids, do you know where Cubby and T-Bear live?
Bear's Den!
If you said Bear's Den, you're right. Bear's Den is the home of Cubby's Birthday Club, a special club for just kids. Bear's Den has a Cubby's menu just for you with yummy meals and awesome desserts. And for your birthday, you get a special treat from Cubby. Joining Cubby's Club, you'll get invited to Cubby's parades, events, and contests all over town. Cubby's Birthday Club at Bear's Den Restaurant in Hogansburg, New York, the home of Cubby and T-Bear.
Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den. Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den.
They'll make their way into turn number 3, looking to get this 12-lap Bandit feature sponsored by CKON. And tonight's main racing sponsor, the fine folks from Crown Appeal. LaRose off to the fine start here in that 003 machine. Quickly getting away from the rest of the field is now Daryl Mitchell will go to the high side. As we got a gaggle of cars, 3 wide down to the backstretch. Oban, Musa, Castell is now bumper to bumper as now Musa gets into the backside of Oban. Oban breaking away here ever so slightly as now Zyra gets past for that number 3 position. LaRose up top in that number 1 spot. Mitchell rides along in second. Here comes Matthew Oban for that number 3 spot. Stuart Musa in that number 4, and Zyra rounds out your top 5. LaRose now looking to go on cruise control as he'll come out at turn number 2 to the bottom. Mitchell will drift to the high side. That'll open the door for the 89 machine of Matthew Oban. Oban back to the bottom. Mitchell stays to the high side as he closes the distance between him and Oban. Mitchell pulls up onto that rear bumper of Oban very quickly, but Oban back onto the gas as he'll go into turns 3 and 4. Well, riding long and fourth now is the 101 of Stuart Musa. LaRose up front now, 3 laps in as Mainville goes off the track onto the backstretch. The 003 of LaRose, your race leader. Oban rides in second. Here comes Mitchell in third. Musa in fourth. And now the battle for the number 5 spot between Castell and Zyra is the one to watch. Castell to the top side. Zyra on the bottom. Castell able to set himself free of him as they'll head into turns 1 and 2 as LaRose continues to lead here, as he has really opened up a pretty good lead on the field as he's going to look to put Styles Showcase Arquette down a lap. Going into turns 3, it is LaRose, your leader. Oben's reeled him in, though, as lap traffic did play a factor in that one. Here comes Mitchell into the number 3 spot, followed by Stuart Musa and Corey Castell. 5 laps in, 7 laps remaining distance for the 97.3 CKON Bandits on Crown Appeal night here at the Mohawk International Raceway. Don't forget, not racing next Friday night, but we're racing Thursday night. We'll have more as the night goes on, as now Oban has closed in the distance quite a bit, as he's almost on the rear bumper, the 003 of Jean-Marc LaRose. And that's where Oban is right now, on that rear bumper of LaRose. LaRose to the bottom as he's able to break away, open up about a 1-car length lead. Here comes Oban with a full head of steam as they go into turns 3 and 4. Lap car of Castell is going to be an issue here. Rather, Mainville will be an issue. Mainville sticks to his lane. So does LaRose. So does Oban as he goes to the top side, looking to get that number 1 spot away. There they are, wheel to wheel, hub to hub as they fire down to the back stretch. It is LaRose, your race leader. Oban back to the top side. They'll go into turns 3 and 4. Oban, he pulls up a wheel. He sees all that full car of Jean-Marc LaRose to his inside, down to the flag stand. 5 laps remaining now as Oban and LaRose putting on a fantastic show here tonight. First, LaRose will pull ahead. Then here comes Oban down to the backstretch with a great full head of momentum for him. Now, lap car of Styles Arquette. The issue, LaRose picks the wrong lane. Oban picks the right one. Oban to the top side, your new race leader. He used the old pick-off move, and LaRose got caught into lap traffic. There's no smoke coming out of the 4S of Styles Showcase Arquette. Down to the backstretch they'll go. Oban, your race leader, looking to make it 5 for the season here at the Mohawk International Raceway. Oban, your points leader, also your current race leader. Number 2 spot taken by LaRose. In third, it is Mitchell. Fourth, Musa, and Castell rides that number 5 spot. Great run here by Oban. Oban able to get the race lead away through lap traffic. Oban to the top side. LaRose going to look to reel him in here. We've got just 2 laps remaining for the Bandits. Oban, your race leader, followed by LaRose. Mitchell, along with Musa and Corey Castell. Down to the backstretch will go Matthew Oban. As we mentioned, multi-time feature winner here at Mohawk in 2012. 6 times, looking to make it 7. Thank you very much, Tim Baltz. That's why you are the best stats guy up here. You're the only stats guy up here. As now Oban into turn 1. 1 lap remaining on this field. Oban, he's opened up about a 10-car length lead. He'll fire down to the backstretch. LaRose trying to reel him in. Not going to have enough time or track to do so. To the outside of Styles Arquette will go the 89 of Oban. Oban out of turn number 4. He collects his 7th win of the season, followed by LaRose, Mitchell, Stuart Musa, and the 28J of Corey Castell. So hats off to Matthew Oban. He'll make his way down to victory lane to pick up a nice little trophy from our fine sponsors. And
as you see the good folks from Crown Appeal down there, Bob Oliver, James Pierce, Jody Swamp into the mix with Crown Appeal as well, but he's trying to get his pro stock ready to go. But there he is out of the car. 7th win of the season for Matthew Oban. Been on a tear here as of late. Also running strong over at Cornwall. He's got a couple of feature wins over there, I believe 3 in total. And not a bad season. These vehicles peel off the speedway in turns 3 and 4. Set and ready to go. 25 laps for the dirt car 358 modifieds. Gage Morin and Brian McDonald will lead him to the green off of corner number 4. Green is in the air. We're underway. Up into 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Gage Morin setting the pace early on as they make the way down the back straightaway. A wholesale scramble going on for spots 2, 3, and 4. McDonald has the position. Roy Tarbell. Look at Matt Billings go on the top side. He's going to go around Tarbell to pick up 3rd. Chris Raby and Tarbell going at it now for spots 4 and 5 as they make their way up into turns 1 and 2. Kerry Torrance, Danny O'Brien, along with the 23 of Lannister, Dale Plank, Billy Dunn, and Luke Whitaker. That's your top 10 early on as they make their way up off of corner number 4. 4, it is Gage Morin, your early race leader. Down into turns 1 and 2, Morin setting the pace. About 4 car lengths separate him and Brian McDonald as they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. McDonald is second. Then it's Billings right there in third as he got around Tarbell early on in this race. Up off of corner number 4, it's Morin, McDonald, and Billings, your top 3. The battle is from 4th on back. Tarbell had Chris Raby right there on his back bumper, although he bobbled a little bit in turn number 2 and allowed Raby to close the gap as they make the way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Delbert LeGros with problems into 71. He is slowed to the outside of corner number 2, but picks it back up. Down into 1 and 2 they go. Morin, your leader at lap number 4 with Brian McDonald, Matt Billings, Roy Tarbell, and Raby rounding out your top 5. Danny O'Brien tried the top shelf, couldn't make it work. He lost a couple of spots as Dale Plank and Billy Dunn get by. Now he's into the clutches of Luke Whitaker. Down the front straightaway they go. Morin trying to run away and hide from the rest of the field. As we got 5 laps up on the board, Brian, and Morin is your leader.
Morin is the race leader. He's led all 5 laps so far. McDonald in second. Now Billings rides along in third with Roy Tarbell and Raby rounding out your top 5. The young hot shoe out of Cornwall, St. Andrews, Ontario. Number 16, Gage Morin, fires down to the backstretch. He has been hooked up in that new ride. He had a win a couple weeks ago at the Cornwall Motor Speedway. Now Billings makes a move for that number 2 spot. He pulls alongside the 151 of Brian McDonald. Now Billings to the bottom, comes around. He's got that number 2 spot. Tarbell now. He's in hot pursuit as well after that number 3 spot. McDonald dancing with the devil on the top side. He's going to lose a bunch of positions here as that opens the door for the 0-1 of Chris Raby. Morin continues to lead on lap number 8. It is Billings in second, Tarbell in third, Raby and McDonald round out your top 5. Gage Morin has set sail and his course takes him down to the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Billings rides along in second. Now Roy Tarbell, the KG veteran, the smoking gun, rides along in third, along to the bottom. He clips the white powder donut, and that'll make a mess of his front end. Hits another tire as he pulls to the infield, and certainly not a great way for Roy Tarbell to end his night as that.
Supporting a green agenda, Wiley Trash Removal has been serving the community for over 40 years. Wiley Trash Removal also recycles cardboard and paper. Call 315-764-0038.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
The showcase is up front. It is the 16 of Morin, your leader. He'll fire coming out of turn number 4. Now we got cars crisscrossing, getting into each other in lap number 10.
As we motor down into turns 1 and 2, here comes Raby a bit for second. Raby down on the inside in the 0-1. He picks up second, but Billings is not going to have anything to do with that. He's going to go around the top side of Gage Morin and drag race him to the line for the lead as they make their way into corners 1 and 2. Morin, your race leader. Billings is up to the number 2 spot, drifts a little high into 2. Here comes Raby back after him down on the inside. Kerry Torrance is up into spot number 4. Laura Lannister and Billy Dunn charging towards the front of the field as well. And Brian McDonald with problems in the 151. He takes it pit side on lap number 12. Meanwhile, back up into the lead it is Morin, but Chris Raby has jumped up into spot number 2. Billings relegated to 3rd. It's Torrance. Now Billy Dunn is cracked into the top 5. Off of corner number 4, Gage Morin trying to run away and high for the rest of the field, but he's got some tough customers behind him with Raby, Billings, Kerry Torrance, and now Billy Dunn moving into the top 5. Dale Plank is starting to come forward as well. That Twin Leaf Express has struggled the last month and a half here. Picked up 3 feature wins on the season, but it's been tough struggle since. And right now he's working the top shelf to try to get around Laura Lannister for spot number 6, and he will do so. Meanwhile, back up in front to the leaders, Gage Morin, Chris Raby, 1 and 2 as they make the way into turns 3 and 4. Kerry Torrance on the top shelf in 3rd, and they get a great run coming into turn number 3. But off corner number 4, the bottom seems to be the place to be, although Torrance finds something in turn 1.
Gary Terrance back to the top side. Preston Forbes slowing down on the backstretch. Will he be able to get pit side and get out of harm's way? Yes, sir, he will. Here comes Gary Terrance, the twin leaf-powered 66X machine on the top side, coming out of turn number 4. Gary Terrance, your new race leader, lap number 16, followed by Gage Moran. Moran going to stick his machine back to the bottom side, but Terrance found something up top. Moran now trying to pull up alongside Terrance as we got the 57C of Kevin Federley slowing on the front stretch. Definitely will bring out the caution flag on lap number 17 here as they head into turn 1. Gary Terrance continues to lead. Kevin Federley to the high side at turn number 1. Watch the 66X machine. He's starting to pull away. He likes that top side. Moran sticking onto the bottom along with Chris Raby. The 23D of Billy Dunn and Matt Billings has faded back to 5th now at this point. Back to the top side, down to the backstretch. The 66X of Gary Terrance, your race leader on lap number 18. Terrance to the top side in turn number 3. Lap traffic going to be an issue here in about a half a lap. Lap number 19. Terrance continues to lead by Moran. The 01 of Raby, the 23D of Dunn, and Matt Billings round out your top 5. Track starting to take some rubber here in the later stages of this 25-lap event. Gary Terrance has set sail, and he is blown by, open up about a 10-car length lead on the number 2 position. Lap number 20, here comes Chris Raby for that number 2 spot.
And right now he's got Moran to his outside as Gary Terrance works on David Papineau to try to get him a lap down. Meanwhile, Billy Dunn, in the process of that, moves to the top or to the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get by Moran for the number 3 spot. Moran found a little something on the top side, but Dunn just too strong. Off the bottom of the speedway, he'll roll up into spot number 3, relegating Moran to 4th. Matt Billings completes the top 5 as they make their way down the back straightaway. Terrance, your leader, moving into lap traffic once again. He'll come up to the back bumper of Tommy Jock Jr. And Chris Raby is starting to reel in your leader. Raby has found a little something extra down on the bottom, and Terrance, wonder if maybe he burnt the right rear off, because Raby is quickly closing down the back stretch, and Billy Dunn with a problem off of turn number 2. And he has collected a tire in the infield, I believe, because something has gone wrong with the 23. He's moving very slowly into corners 3 and 4. And this could shake things up in the chase for the track championship as well, as Dunn moving slow in turns 3 and 4. We'll stay with your leader, as right now Raby has got Dunn right in front of him, but the caution flag will wave with just 2 left. So, top 12 are on the lead lap. Billy Dunn is in the pit area right now. This will leave the top 11 on the lead lap as they make the way off of corner number 4. Green flag is back into the air. And Gary Terrance back to the top side of the speedway. It has been a struggle season for Gary Terrance and that 66 Twin Leaf Express machine as he works it up into corners 3 and 4. Raby's charging after him, though, down on the bottom, off of corner number 4. Terrance with the lead. White flag is in the air. Raby into second. Billings, Moran. And now Danny O'Brien starts to make his move to the inside of Dale Plank. Into turns 1 and 2. Plank fights him off and holds down 5th. Into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag will be out this time by, and Gary Terrance will get off the schneid. Win number 1 of the season for Gary Terrance. Raby, Billings, Plank at the line will grab the number 4 spot. Gage Moran completes the top 5 in the number 16. Down there in Victory Lane, and I'm presuming he gets to keep the trophy. So, Gary Terrance into Victory Lane, and we're going to send it downstairs to Brian Page. What do you got down there, Pager?
Well, we've got the 66X. Gary Terrance getting ready to climb out of his machine, along with his pit crew here tonight. The Twin Leaf Drex sub-sponsored car. As Gary's getting his Hans device off. Chris very excited for him. Here he is. He's out of the machine. The 66X. Gary Terrance. We'll come back over here, get a few words with Gary back in Victory Lane tonight. Gary, my man, congratulations, bud, on that win. You went to the top side. It was a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, but car was working good tonight. Outside was nice.
Now, did you know that Raby was right in second? Did you see a wheel at all on that restart?
Not really, no. I knew the top was a faster line. Just had to hang on up there.
So what was the difference tonight? You dominated your heat and you came away with the feature win. Do anything different with the setup this week?
No, really, the track just came to us, and it's been a while, and just stayed patient at the end there.
So I got to know, anybody you want to thank tonight?
I got to thank all the guys in the garage doing a good job with these cars. Chris, crew chief, just all the guys doing a great job in the garage and putting this car together.
Any late season plans?
We'll run the series and everything else and see how it goes.
Well, Kerry, congratulations. Welcome back to Victory Lane. Tonight's Crown Appeal 358 modified winner, the 66X, Kerry Torrance.
Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den. Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bear's Den.
Hey kids, do you know where Cubby and T-Bear live?
Bear's Den!
If you said Bear's Den, you're right. Bear's Den is the home of Cubby's Birthday Club, a special club for just kids. Bear's Den has a Cubby's menu just for you with yummy meals and awesome desserts. And for your birthday, you get a special treat from Cubby. Joining Cubby's Club, you'll get invited to Cubby's parades, events, and contests all over town. Cubby's Birthday Club at Bear's Den Restaurant in Hogansburg, New York, the home of Cubby and T-Bear.
25 big ones here tonight for the Mod Lights. Seb, what do you think of that, my friend? He likes it. So does Brian Green on the start. Brian Green with a green flag, followed by Lemieux. Now Boguette and Waldriff into the top four. Green to the inside in that specially designed car for these series races. Down to the back stretch will fire Brian Green in that one machine. He picked up his 75th career victory here a few weeks ago at the Mohawk International Raceway. Lemieux now into the second, Waldriff in third, Boguette into fourth, along with Curving, rides in that number 5 position. Brian Green down to the backstretch, he'll fire. He's opened up about a 10-car length lead on the 30 machine of Réjean Lemieux. Lemieux into second. He's going to look for some bite here, trying to reel in race leader Brian Green as he comes out of 4 down to the flag stand. 2 laps into this 25-lap TUSA Mod Light touring race here tonight at the Mohawk International Raceway. As Tim had mentioned, I had mentioned, we're racing next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. start. Not Friday night, but Thursday night. So Brian Green out of 4, and Brian Green loops it on the front stretch, gets sort of all out of shape here, and now he's got it facing the right way, but Réjean Lemieux, your prize winner on that one, if you will. Brian Green, will he be able to get that restarted? The track was a little slick. No, sir, he will not. So he will join the tail end of the, now it is up to Lemieux and Boguette on the inside, outside, respectively. Lemieux, he'll fire out of turn 4. Boguette off to a good start here. Boguette will take the lead away as they head into turn 1 and 2. To the top side will go Boguette in that number 12 machine. He'll fire down to the backstretch, followed by Réjean Lemieux. And now the 60 of Scott Waldriff. Waldriff picking up first career win here at Mohawk about a month ago. Now to the inside will go Boguette, and along with Lemieux. Lemieux tracking him down onto the front stretch. Lap number 4, Lemieux to the inside, but here comes Scotty Waldriff. Scotty Waldriff rides in third, but here to the outside will go the 7 machine of the very fast Sylvain Laframboy. Laframboy battles back for that number 3 spot. We've got a car into the wall. I do believe that is the... have to wait and see it comes around. I believe that is Matthew Robinson in that machine that spun out on the backstretch. Now three-way lead, or three-way race for the lead. Lemieux on the inside. We'll get to the top side. Waldriff looking to make a deal of this. 3 wide going into turn 3. Lemieux, the man in the middle. Waldriff on to the bottom. To the top side will go Boguette. He is your race leader on lap number 6.
And I'll tell you what, he is motoring on that top side of the speedway. Lemieux just beside him there. And Lemieux actually grabs the lead coming off of corner number 2. So the bottom side looks like it's the place to be, at least for these guys, as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Jim Boguette right there in second. Then it's the battle for third with Scotty Waldriff and the 7 of Sylvain Laframboy. Dan Curving in the 39 starts to jump up towards the front of the field. He's riding in 5th with Harley Brown in 6th. Brad Reef is 7th. Brian Green is 8th. 9th is Bailey McDonald. And Matthew Robinson, despite getting into the wall, rounds out your top 10 as they make their way into turns 3 and 4 once again with Lemieux on the top shelf. Jim Boguette down there on the bottom as they make their way down the front straightaway into corners 1 and 2. Scotty Waldriff having a strong run up in 3rd. Laframboy now has pressure from Dan Curving's number 39 as they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Harley Brown is up into 6th. Brian Green is charged from the back of the field. field. He's now running in spot number 7 off of corner number 4. Lemieux leads the way, and we got a problem with Matt Shantosh in turn number 2, bringing out the caution flag for the second time.
And 16 more laps to go for the Mod Lights TUSA. 25 laps is the distance for them. Lemieux on the inside. Beaujet to the top side. Coming out of 4. We got a green flag. We're back under racing conditions. Now Scotty Waldrop splits the middle and takes the lead away. Going into turn number 1. Coming out of turn 2. Here's Scotty Waldrop putting the power to the clay. Down to the backstretch. He'll fire along with Beaujet. Now Laframboise. He makes it a 3-way race for the lead. Back in 4th is Lemieux. Coming out of turn number 4, it is Scotty Waldrop.
Waldrop picked up his first career win here a little over a month and a half ago. In that number 60, Bailey McDonald goes around. Brad Reef just about turned over, and Matt Shantosh involved as well. Caution flag back out. Paced vehicle peels off the speedway in turns 3 and 4. We're going to get set to go back under green with Waldrop and Beaujet on the point. Green flag flies. We're back underway. And down into 1 and 2 we go. Lap number 10 is up on the scoreboard. Matthew Robinson, if you saw him from the back of the field, he is on the charge, and McDonald turns it around once again in corner number 2. And the caution flag is being held back, and she's trying to get it going, but she pulls to a stop, and that will bring out the yellow. With 11 laps up on the scoreboard, Scotty Waldrop trying to pay attention to the green flag as they make their way up off of corner number 4. Waldrop and Beaujet. We're going to try this one more time. Green flag is back out. We're back under racing speed. Up into turns 1 and 2 they go. And as I mentioned earlier, Matthew Robinson has found something that nobody else has found. And McDonald backs it around in turn number 2, collects a tire over there, and sits idle over there. And that will bring the yellow flag back out once again. With 12 laps complete this time, and Bailey obvious handling issues with that.
Twin Leaf Fresh Express is the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are. The first convenient stop in Hogansburg when driving from Messina. A food court with free Wi-Fi and plenty of room to lounge with family and friends or eat on the run. Menu items with only the freshest ingredients. Wings, pizza, salads, and sandwiches with lunch specials posted daily on Facebook. And don't forget dessert. Over 20 flavors of ice cream, shakes, slushies, and frozen yogurt. Twin Leaf Fresh Express, the smart choice for feel-good, fresh food that's ready when you are.
Of course, the following night, Dirt Car 358 Modified Series, 75 laps the distance. Billy Decker is the defending champion of that race. Ready to go. Corner number 4, 12 laps are complete. Green flag is in the air. We're up to racing speed once again. And up into 1 and 2 they go. Sylvain Laframboise chasing down the 60 of Waldrop. But here comes Brian Green, and that Napa Auto Parts, Gillies Auto Truck and Marine number 1 machine works it to the top shelf coming off of corner number 4. Although Sylvain Laframboise was right in his tire tracks and wasn't able to advance any farther forward than to 3rd. But Jim Beaujet trying to make the inside line work as they motor through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Regine Lemieux has cracked into the top 5 once again, with Dan Curving, Harley Brown, Matthew Robinson, Dan Reef, and Tim Reef completing the top 10 with 14 laps up on the board, 11 more to go, and Waldrop trying to hang in there and win this one. But Brian Green making it tough on the rest of the field. He spun out earlier on in this race, and now just after the halfway point has charged back towards the front of the field. He is up to the number 2 spot as Sylvain Laframboise working in 3rd. Waldrop a little sideways coming up off the corner. 15 laps are in.
15 laps are in, 10 laps remaining distance. If Brian Green is to get by Waldrop, he's going to have to do it on the top side. Waldrop now drifts just a little bit coming out of turn number 2, down to the backstretch. Does Brian Green have room? He touches bumpers. Now back into the rear bumper of Waldrop, trying to knock him up off that bottom. Not going to happen this time as Waldrop breaks away. Brian Green back to the top side going into turn 1. He's in hot pursuit here of the 60 machine of Scott Waldrop. Waldrop out of turn number 2, down to the backstretch. He'll fire. Here comes Brian Green to the inside. Waldrop slams the door shut going into 3. Brian Green working that rear bumper, trying to force him up the speedway. Not going to happen on lap number 17. Scotty Waldrop continues to lead. Waldrop now into 2. Brian Green taking a peek downstairs. Is there anything down there, Daddy? I don't know, but certainly nothing that Scotty Waldrop is going to give up very easily. Scotty Waldrop back to the bottom here. Now the car is starting to build up in behind Brian Green, as now we've got a car spun out. Matthew Shantosh has spun out in turn number 2. So certainly 7 laps to go here, Tim. And Brian Green,
yes,
given the Light Series race winner, we'll have to wait and see who it'll be. Scotty Waldriff, your race leader, single file restart. Scotty Waldriff likes what he sees along with Austin Swamp. Green racing conditions back onto the field. Waldriff now back to the bottom. Green onto the bottom as well, but here comes the 12 of Boguet along with the 30 machine of Lemieux. Green makes a move to the inside. Waldriff slams that door shut one more time. Waldriff drifts up the track ever so slightly coming out of turn number 4. We are 6 laps away from the checkered flag. It is Waldriff back to the bottom coming out of 2. Here comes Brian Green. Brian Green down to the backstretch. He pulls up onto the rear bumper of Scotty Waldriff. Going to make a move to the high side. Can he make that machine work coming out of turn number 4? Well, yes, he can. Brian Green, your new race leader. Waldriff now will fall back into second place. He looks as hard as he can at that bottom groove. Is there enough there to make that mod light work? Brian Green's got enough work as he goes to the top side. Starts to break away from Scotty Waldriff. Boguet now pulls alongside the 30 of Réjean Lemieux for that number 3 spot. Laframboy looking to be the man in the mix here, and as he rounds out your top 5. Brian Green, 21 laps in. He is your race leader. Took it over 2 laps ago from Scotty Waldriff. He had to work for it for about 6 laps. As now Brian Green has opened up a commanding lead over the 60 of Scotty Waldriff. Back to the bottom will go Brian. Will go Boguet. Boguet now to the bottom. Looks to pull alongside the 60 machine of Scotty Waldriff. He'll do so as they enter into turn number 1. Now they're coming around to turn number 2. It is Boguet to the top side, to the bottom. Waldriff to the top side. He starts dancing with the devil up there, and he'll lose a bunch of real estate. He'll settle back in that number 4 position. Now it is Réjean Lemieux to the inside. Here comes Scotty Waldriff. They kiss tires. Waldriff back in that number 3 spot. 2 laps remaining for Brian Green. Brian Green in that number 1 machine. He'll fire down to the backstretch. He looks to set his machine up in the turns 3 and 4. Boguet rides in second. Now Scotty Waldriff in third. Lemieux in 4th. And rounding out your top 5 is Sylvain Laframboy. White flag on the field. 1 more lap. The distance for Brian Green. Brian Green down to the backstretch. He'll fire his machine. Riding in second is Boguet, Waldriff, Lemieux, and the 7 of Sylvain Laframboy. Brian Green, 1 more time, coming out of turn number 4. It is the 1 machine of Brian Green, tonight's TUSA Mod Light Series winner, followed by Jim Boguet, the 30 of Réjean Lemieux, Scotty Waldriff, and the 7 of Sylvain Laframboy will round out your top 5. We'll be taking it down pit side, track side,
6th win of the season for Brian Green, and of course his 2nd in this 4-race TUSA Mod Light Series. Exactly 5 of the last 6 he's won. The way this car runs when he gets it here, wonder why he doesn't run it here every week. There he is out of the car. 6th win of the season for Brian Green. And his 2nd TUSA Mod Light Series feature win. Grab a quick word with him as we'll get set to go racing very shortly. Brian, congratulations, man. You are on a virtual hot streak here.
Oh, my God. I don't know how we do it week after week. I mean, the season started out terrible, but it's come full circle.
Now, I'll tell you what, earlier on in the race, you spin out over here. You got to come from the back. What comes through your mind? You were driving like a house of fire out there.
I don't know. I was just hoping everybody was just going to hold their line and leave a good hole.
Absolutely. Now, of course, car ran strong all night. I know you got a ton of people to thank.
I got to thank Napa and my mom, my dad, Brian McDonald, everybody, everybody that makes part of it.
Absolutely, Brian. Well, congratulations. Let's go celebrate with the guys. 6th win of the season, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, there he is.
Hey kids, do you know where Cubby and T-Bear live?
Bears Den!
If you said Bears Den, you're right. Bears Den is the home of Cubby's Birthday Club, a special club for just kids. Bears Den has a Cubby's menu just for you with yummy meals and awesome desserts. And for your birthday, you get a special treat from Cubby. Joining Cubby's Club, you'll get invited to Cubby's parades, events, and contests all over town. Cubby's Birthday Club at Bears Den Restaurant in Hogansburg, New York, the home of Cubby and T-Bear.
Fox Hill Golf and Country Club has an early bird special that will save you money. Monday through Thursday, tee off by 11 a.m. and get 11 holes of golf with the cart for $20 or 11 holes walking for $10. Make a date on Friday. All day he pays and she plays for free. Don't forget the large driving range and practice putting green. And as always, Canadian money is at par. supporting a green agenda, Wiley Trash Removal has been serving the community for over 40 years. Wiley Trash Removal also recycles cardboard and paper. Call 315-764-0038.
A host of Quebec drivers coming down here with us, and we're glad to have them on board. Green flag is out, 20 laps of distance. Up into corners 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Alan Peters and Eugene Tarbell with a problem here on the front stretch in the 7D, moving very slowly into corners 1 and 2, and we'll keep your eye on them, as right now Alan Peters with the lead. Stefan Lebrun right there with him, almost 3 wide coming off the corner, but Rock Oban holds the lead going down the front stretch at lap number 1. 88 of Peters settles into second with Stefan Lebrun, Dion Oaks, and 69 of Jody Swamp battling it up for spots 3, 4, and 5. Louis Jackson has not run here as a regular all season long in that number 18, and he has not missed a beat. He is charging after Jody Swamp down the front straightaway, but the 4 of Oban continues to lead the way at lap number 2, and then it is the 88 of Alan Peters, followed by Dion Oaks in the number 48. 6 of Lebrun hounding Peters for the number 3 spot, with the 69 of Swamp just behind them. And Louis Jackson's trying to make something happen on that outside portion of the speedway, as Peters a little loose coming up off the corner, and that's going to allow for Lebrun to get by on the top side. 3 laps are in the books. And right now, Rock Oban trying to hold off the very fast Dion Oaks as they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry with Stefan Lebrun into third. Alan Peters is fourth. Jody Swamp completes the top 5. Off the turn they go. Watch for Jackson if he gets going on that outside groove, although Peters slips up in front of him. Blocks the lane, allowing Owen White to get on by down on the inside part of the speedway. And Owen White, a rookie in this division, jumps up into spot number 5 as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4. Lebrun starts to go to work now. He gets to the inside of Dion Oaks, but with 5 laps complete, Rock Oban is your race leader.
Rock Oban continues to lead. Louis Peters with all sorts of handling issues in that machine coming out of turn number 4. Now to the top side goes Oban. Stefan Lebrun back to the bottom. The 48 of Dion Oaks, 2-time winner here this season at Mohawk. Oban to the top side. We've got a car hitting a tire, spreading back out into the front stretch. Now clips another tire going to the turn 1. And that machine might want to think about going pit side to get those issues taken care of. And no, sir, he's going to take a couple tires. And that will bring out a yellow flag. And lost front bumper, another tire clipped, and down to the backstretch, collects Dan Denmoyer in the process. So all sorts of things go.
Absolutely.
Well, back up front now, it is the 4 of Rock Oban to the top side. LeBron Hill fire. Austin Swamp says, go get her, boys. There's the green flag. 7 laps in, 13 laps remaining distance for the Pro Stocks, as now they start to get bunched up in behind Dion Oaks for that number 5 and 6 position. Oban to the outside. Oaks back to the bottom groove. Here comes Jody Swamp. He would love to pull one off here tonight on Crown Appeal sponsor night. Look at the cars backed up into the field from top 10 on back. Quite a fantastic field of cars. And we've got Owen White that gets turned around into turn number 4, or turn number 2, rather. And along with him, he'll watch tonight on Crown Appeal night. Jody Swamp, one of the sponsors of tonight's race, he would love nothing more than bring home that trophy. Very nice trophy from the fine folks at Crown Appeal. Stefan Lebrun gets the green flag. He'll take it into turn number 1 on lap number 9. Stefan Lebrun, your race leader. He's got Jody Swamp closing in on that rear bumper, but here comes the 48 of Dion Oaks to the top side. Oaks goes to the high side in turn number 2. Jody Swamp down low, looking to force Oaks up the racing track, but on lap number 10, Lebrun continues to lead.
And right now, Stefan Lebrun in control of this race. Jody Swamp, Dion Oaks right there behind him in second and third. Down the back straightaway they go. P.J. Peters has jumped up past Rock Oban to pick up spot number 4, with Jocelyn Waugh running in spot number 6. Louis Jackson is 7th. Guy Vienne is 8th. 9th is Alan Peters in the 88, and Mark Lalone completes the top 10 in the number 8 machine. 11 laps are complete in this one, and Stefan Lebrun continues to lead the way. Oban got a little loose on the top side, and that's going to allow for Jocelyn Waugh to close the gap, along with the 18 of Jackson, making their way through turns 3 and 4 in a whole lot of hurry, with 8 laps left to go. And Stefan Lebrun trying to run away and hide, but Jody Swamp and Dion Oaks are making it tough on him. Down the back straightaway they go. Lebrun, your race leader. there. Swamp is second, followed by the 48 of Oaks. The 73 of Peters rides back there in spot number 4 with the 4 of Oban completing your top 5 once again. And Jackson goes from the outside down to the inside trying to pick up another spot. And right now he gets to the inside of a Rock Oban going down into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. As right now Eugene Tarbell makes his way back out onto the speedway in the 7D, but back up in front to the lead. Stefan LeBrun had not won here in 4 seasons in that number 6 machine, and right now he's trying to right that ship and get back into victory lane once again for the second time. He's won once at Cornwall this year. He's having a fine season out there aboard that number 6 machine. Up into turns 3 and 4. Jody Swamp is right there with him along with Dion Oaks in the 48. Then comes the 73 of Peters. Rock Oban rounds out your top 5 as Louis Jackson starts to move forward as well. He's up into spot number 6. 7th is Alan Peters, 8th to Jocelyn Wan, 9th to the 8 of Mark Lalone, and your top 10 right now being contested between Guy Vienne and Dave Rogers. Down the front stretch they go. LeBrun in command, but Jody Swamp is not going to make it easy on him. Dion Oaks wants to jump into victory lane as well. Down into turns 1 and 2. Swamp got a little bit loose that time, coming through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Although LeBrun, he got a little out of shape coming down the back stretch and allowed Swamp to close back in. Coming into turns 3 and 4, Swamp is right there, and he clipped the tire coming off the corner, and that might have flattened the left front tire as he goes into turns 1 and 2. He's able to stay in the number 2 spot, though, as they make their way down the back straightaway. Dion Oaks is 3rd. P.J. Peters up into the 4th spot. 5th being contested between Louis Jackson and Alan Peters as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. 2 laps left to go for Stefan LeBrun. Trying for his 2nd win of the season and 3rd overall. As I mentioned, he won once here earlier on this year, back on July the 13th, and he won a couple of weeks after that at Cornwall and would like to get back into victory lane. He sets it into turns 3 and 4, glued to the bottom of the speedway. Off of corner number 4, he sees the white flag first. And Dion Oaks powers around the outside of Jody Swamp to pick up spot number 2, going into turn number 1. And Oaks fighting back on the outside. He clears Swamp down the back straightaway. Lap machine of Eugene Tarbell won't be a problem. Into turns 3 and 4. Your 2008 track champion will score his 2nd win of the season in the number 6. LeBrun grabs the win. 2nd will go to Oaks. Swamp goes into 3rd. P.J. Peters comes home 4th. 3 wide at the line for 5th. It will go to Louis Jackson in the number 18. So Jackson powers around the top side and grabs his first top 5 finish of the season here on Crown Appeal Night.
Tim Baltz, this is one of those nights where I'm going to wish I'd paid better attention to French class in high school. As our victor tonight, Stefan LeBrun, is English, comme ci, comme ça, is français, bien. He's getting out of his machine, his 2nd time into victory lane this season at Mohawk. There he is, the number 6, Stefan LeBrun. We'll get a few words with Stefan pit side. He has his lovely bride that's going to help him out here in victory lane, I believe. Stefan, welcome back to victory lane. You were on the bottom, and the car seemed to work for you there.
The car runs good. The hop, the bottom, runs very good. The track is good. My car, good setup. Go thank you, Curtis, puis my pit crew. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, en français.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Tonight's feature winner.
Hey kids, do you know where Cubby and T-Bear live?
Bears Den!
If you said Bears Den, you're right. Bears Den is the home of Cubby's Birthday Club, a special club for just kids. Bears Den has a Cubby's menu just for you with yummy meals and awesome desserts. And for your birthday, you get a special treat from Cubby. Joining Cubby's Club, you'll get invited to Cubby's parades, events, and contests all over town. Cubby's Birthday Club at Bears Den Restaurant in Hogansburg, New York, the home of Cubby and T-Bear.
Tonight here on Crown Appeal Night at Mohawk. Off of corner number 4, Jenna David leads the way. Green flag is in the air. Up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Rick Miller gets out of shape going into turn number 1, loses a ton of spots out there. In the process, this is going to bring Louis Jackson Jr. up into the position number 1. Second right now is Josh Van Brocklin as they make the way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Van Brocklin not wasting any time with the youngster, going down the top side of the speedway. Makes his way into turns 1 and 2, trying to grab the lead from Jackson as they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Ricky Thompson is 4th, Adam Rozon, and now Dana Akins has jumped into the top 5 early on, making the way through turns 3 and 4, and Van Brocklin is your new race leader, motoring down the front straightaway with Louis Jackson Jr. into second. 53 of Thompson rounds out the top 3. Adam Rozon is 4th, and right now Jenna David gets all out of shape in turns 1 and 2, brings it back on the speedway just ahead of Nolan Swap, and here comes Dylan Evoy. 7 times a feature winner this year, the all-time sportsman win leader here at Mohawk, works it up into corners 3 and 4 in that number 6 position, just behind Jessica Power. 3 laps are complete. Josh Van Brocklin has not won since late May of this season, wanting to turn his season around with a victory here tonight, and right now he is in the position to do that. Down the front straightaway they go. Jackson is second, followed by Thompson, Adam Rozon, and Evoy down to the inside of Dana Akins to try to pick up spot number 5, and he will do so with Jessica Power running back there in spot number 7. Arquette is 8th, 9th is Wyatt Mullen, and Nolan Swamp completes the top 10 with Van Brocklin, your leader, at lap 5.
Well, this track condition's eerily similar to last fall when Josh Van Brocklin opened up a big old can of Go Fast on the Sportsman Super Dirt Series race here at Mohawk. Van Brocklin now out of turn number 4. He's got Louis Jackson Jr. trying everything he can do to reel him in. The 5th. Ricky Thompson rides along in the 53, moving his way up from the pro stock ranks. Now to the inside, there goes Dylan Evoy. Out of Brockville into the number 3 position is Dylan Evoy. Josh Van Brocklin continuing to lead on lap number 7. Fine field of cars here tonight. Louis Jackson Jr. in the second spot. Dylan Evoy rides in 3rd. The 53 of Ricky Thompson in 4th, and Dana Akins, your top 5, will round out that top 5. Van Brocklin now out of turn number 4. He loves this racing surface on nights like this when it's taking lots of rubber. He knows how to set that machine up into the turns and feather the gas pedal through the corners and down to the backstretch he'll go into turns 3 and 4. Got a car slowing the Thunder Anderson Jr. ride, slowing coming out of turn number 4. Might have mechanical issues as he'll go to the high side of turn 1. Van Brocklin now on lap number 9, working his way through lap traffic, sets his sights on the 35 of young Thomas Cook Jr. Down to the backstretch he'll go to the high side of turn number 3. Lap number 9, it is the 10 of Josh Van Brocklin. We've got Thunder Anderson slowing to a stop, or crawl if you will, to turn number 2. Will that bring out the yellow flag? I don't think so, not just yet.
Well, Anderson's going to keep it going over there on the back straightaway. We're going to stay under green, and right now Josh Van Brocklin is picking him up and laying him down, getting up to the back bumper of Andrew Fish, putting him a lap down to the leaders as Dylan Evoy starts to make his way forward as well. And Van Brocklin caught in heavy traffic with Gilles Godard and Brian Kopp just in front of him as they make their way down the back straightaway. Van Brocklin is now going to have Dylan Evoy just behind him. Evoy started way back in spot number 15 and is already up into second, just past the halfway point. And right now, Van Brocklin still leads the way, but Dylan Evoy is right there with him to challenge. Down the back straightaway they go. And Van Brocklin has the 70 of Josh Brockway just behind him. Dylan Evoy up there in that second spot. He's going to switch lanes and go to the top shelf, coming into turns 3 and 4. Car pushes up just a little bit off the corner, and that's going to allow for Van Brocklin to motor away. But Evoy drops to the bottom, going into turns 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 rather. He's alongside of Van Brocklin as they make their way down the back straightaway. Josh Brockway right in front of the leaders. Van Brocklin gets picked. Evoy, your new race leaders, they make the way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. 14 laps up on the scoreboard, 6 more remain. Now Evoy has to deal with Jenna David in the number 1. She'll move up out of the way, give him plenty of room on the bottom. Van Brocklin is now second, followed by the 8 of Dana Akins, followed by the 18 of Jackson, and rounding out your top 5 is Ricky Thompson with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go. Evoy, your new race leader. He's gone Josh Van Brocklin. He's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink out of him as they come out of turn 2. Evoy down to the backstretch. Sets his sights on the 70 machine of Billy the Cook for another lap. Put him a lap down. Now to the bottom. Lots of lap traffic here. Dylan Evoy is going to have to pick his way through. He's got Mike Stacy and young Zach Arquette to work his way through as now. When Nolan Swamp goes around into turn number 2, thank you very much, Tim. Flag. Van Brocklin in second. Dana Aikens hopping his way up into third. Louis Jackson Jr. rides in fourth. Green flag. We're back to racing conditions on the field. 4 laps remaining here as Evoy heads into turn number 1. He's got Van Brocklin now. Van Brocklin gets on the blinders ever so slightly, and that machine breaks his momentum as they fire down to the backstretch. It'll be Evoy into turn 3. Can Van Brocklin reel him in? He's got to throw a line and start reeling like crazy if he's going to catch him. He's only got 3 laps remaining here, lap number 17. Mike Arquette now works his way up in the top 7 and the 2EZ ride. Dylan Evoy down to the backstretch. He'll open up about a 10-car length lead over Van Brocklin, the number 2 position car. Dana Aikens, he has really had a great month of August here, as now he's worked his way up, looking for that number 2 spot, and we got yellow on the field, and we've got a car.
He has been, and right now Mr. August trying to get it done with 2 to go.
2 to go. It'll be Dylan Evoy to fire out of turn number 4. Van Brocklin here in hot pursuit as they go into turn 1 and 2. Evoy back to the bottom. 2 laps remaining. Evoy down to the backstretch. He's got Van Brocklin in close chase here. Van Brocklin's starting to close that gap as Van Brocklin's going to change lanes and see what's going to work maybe on the top side. Back to the bottom will go Van Brocklin out of turn number 4. It'll be Dylan Evoy. Dylan leading the convoy. Evoy, your race leader. 1 lap remaining here. Evoy sets his sails onto the backstretch. He's got 2 more turns of the steering wheel. Into turns 3 and 4 will go Evoy. Van Brocklin will go to the top side here. Evoy out of turn number 4. Tonight's Sportsman winner on Crown Appeal night, the 83 of Dylan Evoy. In second, it is Van Brocklin. Aikens in third. Ricky Thompson in fourth. And Mike Arquette rounding out your top 5. So congratulations to Dylan Evoy, the Brockville.
Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bearsden. Come and see us now, 'cause you're gonna love the wow at Bearsden.
Number 8 for Dylan Evoy. And he wraps up his 2nd consecutive Mohawk International Raceway Track Championship. The only driver to win 2 Sportsman Championships here. And there he is out of the car. How about a big round of applause? Your 2012 track champion, 8th win of the season for Dylan Evoy. And we're stepping here, get a quick word with Dylan. I'll tell you what, winningest driver on dirt right there. 13th win of the season, 8th one here, and you are the track champion, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. You know, I still got some more work to do tomorrow night, but you know, it feels good to have another championship wrapped up. That's for sure.
Absolutely. You put your name in the history books as the all-time win leader. Now you're the first repeat champion, the only driver to win 2 titles. You know, you'd like to have that Brockville title in your back pocket too, but it's a long road to hoe with Herbie on your tail.
Yeah, we had a few bad runs, or more than a few, at the start of the season there. It just put us out to lunch. Herbison, he was so consistent. It's just, it's it's all about the consistency with the points racing. So we didn't do that at Brockville this year. So maybe we'll try next year.
Yeah, exactly. Now I know you got a ton of sponsors on here to thank too.
I definitely got to thank my mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, my uncle Gil, my uncle Jeff, Mike Iakursi, Ogilvy's Auto and Fleet, Napa Auto Parts, Fireball, Rona, Thousand Islands RV Center, and Thousand Islands Concrete and Genesis Racing Shocks.
We see you down in front again tomorrow?
I sure hope so. We'll see what we got.
All right, how about it? Once again for him, Dylan Evoy, win number 8 of 2012, and that wraps up our night here at Mohawk.